Hi, my name is Rob Earlham, and today we're going to be taking a look at how you can use the custom field extension point in Sitecore's Marketplace to create an icon picker control. So, let's dive in. So I just want to quickly go over what custom fields are, then we'll talk a little bit about the project we're going to look through. Custom fields are there to allow you to generate a custom UI, giving your marketers and editors a nice smooth way to be able to select a value for a field, whether it's on a data source or on the content item itself. And this is a really common customization we've heard asked of a lot of times. A lot of the times it's used to integrate data with third-party systems. Maybe you have a DAM and you want to expose the imagery that's stored in there. Maybe you have an ERP system storing something like commerce data and you want to make that available to your editors as well. Custom fields are a really good solution for that. Another option is that maybe you want to have a more intuitive way to select that value. You can think of things like color wheels or icon pickers as being a great example of that. And an icon picker is the example we're going to take a look at today. We built an icon picker custom field component that's available as an open source repository today, and the link's down below in the description. This is based off the Material UI icon library. You can see the link for that available on screen here. And it gives users the ability to select from a large range of icons to be able to use in their components. The app works by displaying all of the items that are available, and you can click to select the one you want to use. There's also filters available so you can sort by category to refine the list you're looking at. And a text search available if you know the item you're looking for. Okay, so let's take a look at this in action. First of all, we'll take a look at the built application. We'll see it installed in an environment and see how it runs. Then after that, we'll take a look through the codebase and see how it was all put together. Okay, so I've loaded up the Sitecore portal here, and the first thing we're going to do is hop over to the Developer Studio, and we're going to take a look at how this application has been set up. Here you can see we have my Material UI icon picker already installed. If we go and take a look at how it's been created, we can see it has the custom field extension point enabled. If I scroll down, you can see we have the XM Cloud APIs enabled, we have our deployment URLs set, and we have our app logo specified. The key thing to remember when working with custom fields is the app ID you can see on the right here takes on a bit more importance. That's how we're going to link the specific field in our template through to this specific application. So I'm going to copy that now because we're going to use it shortly. If I now switch over to the My Apps tab in Portal, it'll show me which apps I have installed specifically in which environments. I can find my Material UI icon picker, and I can go and view the installation options. I can see it's installed in my Marketplace Playground testing environment. So let's hop back to the Portal homepage, find that environment in our list, and we're going to start off first by taking a look at the content editor to show how that custom field application is going to get linked to a specific template. We have a series of sample sites installed in here. So if I go and load up my project section, the verticals project, and my components, I'm going to find my promo CTA component. In here, down at the bottom, you can see we have an icon field. Its type now is a plugin type. This is a new type introduced by the marketplace, which allows you to wire up your custom fields. And you can see here is the app ID that I copied before, pasted into the source value. That's all you need to do. Everything's wired up and connected now. We can close this to return to Portal, and this time I'm going to load up the page builder. If I scroll down to find an instance of my promo CTA, you can see here we have these little icons. This is powered by the custom field application. If I scroll down in the right hand panel, you can see we have our icon field at the bottom. If I go and click on this link, it'll render my application in a modal dialog. And here is the icon picker app running. You can see here we have all the different Material UI icons listed. And there's quite a few of them in the list. If we scroll down, there's a good couple of thousand, I think, in here. That's why we implemented filtering on here. You could choose to filter down by category if you want to browse for specific icons. Or if you know the specific icon you're after, you can just go and type the text in and select it. When I click save here, you'll notice that the value in the icon field gets updated. The modal dialog's automatically closed. The page automatically refreshes, and I'm automatically taken back to exactly the same scroll point I was at before, but we can now see that the icon's updated. If I load the app once more, one thing I want to call out about this is this app has actually been built with a brand new UI library we're going to be releasing soon, a new version of the block library we had earlier. This is based on ShadCN and allows you to style your applications so that they look like they fit natively within the SaaS UIs. If you look through here, all the fonts are the same, all the form items look the same. You can see the colors in use here are the same as in the background. The save button here is the same as the publish button in the background. So this is going to make it really easy for you to build native looking applications and extensions that feel like they're actually a part of the product and not just an app that's been bolted on the side. Okay, so let's go and take a look at how this was built. Okay, so I've loaded the solution into Cursor here. If you look at the package JSON, this is a really simple application. It's just a straight React app, and you can see we've included the two marketplace packages, the client package and the XMC package. If we start to look into the source, the first thing I want to call out in the utils folder is the use marketplace client hook. If you've seen the previous two videos about this, this is the same hook we've been using everywhere. If you go to the documentation site and check out the quick start guide, this is one of the first things it has you to create. It gives you a really nice way to start your project because it provides you an easy way of getting an instantiated instance of the client ready for you to reuse in your application. If we hop over and take a look at the app.tsx, if we start at the top, you can see we're calling our use marketplace client, and that's ready for us to use as we build our app. If we start to look through our application itself, you can see we have a bunch of components here, and these are actually the ones provided by the block CN library based on ShadCN that's going to be released soon. These are all stored in the components UI folder because that's where it imports into by default. You can see we have our resizable panel on the left, which contains our navigation. That was all the category listing that we could use to refine our list of icons. And then we have the icon picker itself. If we go and take a look into there, you can see all we're doing is basically including the input, which allows us to provide the searching functionality. And then after that, we get a collection of filtered icons, which we then map through using a card panel to basically output all of the icons in use. The one thing I want to call out though is how we actually handle the save functionality. Remember the save button at the end, which actually persists the field value? If we look down here, we have a button in our component, and the on-click event is passed in from the parent page. Going back here, we can see we have our handle save event. If I go and load that up, we have a save status to handle some state change. All you need to do to activate the save though is just call set value on the client. It's as easy as that. All we're doing for this example is passing in the name of the selected icon, but we see in some other modules in the future you might end up wanting to store more complex JSON objects. And you'll notice there's a boolean at the end as well. That's there to handle whether you want to refresh the canvas and have the auto scroll functionality that we saw, or if you just want to leave the canvas as is. And it's as easy as that. That's how you can create a marketplace module for the custom field extension, which persists its data back into the field you're working with. As I said, this module is all open source, and you'll find a link for it in the description below. Thanks for watching, and please keep an eye out for future videos.